school back in Shirley Temple, yeah, that's her side, several. They were interviewing her one time, and she was talking about making a picture of Shirley Temple. And they went to film Shirley Temple, and they stopped. And started doing, yeah, she said, what are you doing? They said, we put on a gauze filter when Miss Temple is up, it softens her lives. He said, so Lord, honey, put linoleum on there for me. So that's the only old joke I know I can tell, because I'm getting old, I don't tell the old jokes anymore. I want to start just to tell you all to start out, setting up a children's program or participating in one in this day and age is not one of the most difficult and complicated things you can do. And for several reasons. And probably first and foremost is, and Brenda and I can speak from experience, it takes a lot of energy and a lot of focus to work with kids. Because they can go and go and go and go, and they go in different directions. And it's hard a lot of times to keep your focus on what you're trying to do and what you're trying to teach or go over, or what you're doing, whether it's making the butter or sewing on buttons or whatever it happens to be. So one thing we're going to really try to work on clarifying is that you're not responsible for the supervision or the discipline or the behavior of the children. That's the school system's responsibility. And they're not, my son's an elementary school teacher in Murfreesboro. I've talked to some of the principals in the 10th district, talked to Beth Petty and Connie, I can't remember her last name, she handles all the off-site stuff. I've got an opportunity to talk to a lot of those people in the last few weeks, and they all agree it's a school function. So the teachers are in charge and they're responsible for discipline. What we've got to define to them is what we consider discipline to be. That if little Johnny's not paying attention, then they know that we would like for them to take little Johnny out of the group and let little Johnny go have a choice of doing math problems or coming back to the group and behaving. Okay, that's kind of the way we did it at camp. Because when you focus on that one behaving child, you disrupt everything for the other 15 kids that are there that are acting appropriately. So we've always done is you get somewhere, you just isolate the one that's, you kind of get him off. If you've got 4 or 5 troublemakers that show up on the bus, you put all of them in one group. Okay? Better to have all the troublemakers in one group and learn it for each other than to have one per group. So there's things like this that we can talk to you about that we learned the hard way. The first time we had a camp, if anybody had any sense, we wouldn't have done it again. But as Scott said, as Gwen said, we had all kinds of rave reviews from the parents of the school about what a great time the kids had. But we didn't get anything done modifying their behavior much, but they got to canoe, they got to swim, they got to walk in the woods, they got to do crafts. So from the kids' perspective, it was successful and they had a good time. So as we go through some of these things, we're going to help you separate out what's your perspective of what occurred and what's the child's perspective of what occurred, okay? One of the other things about it's been difficult is the legal environment and the community norm environment nowadays. It's a lot different in how you are supposed to react with children that are not part of your immediate family or that you're not responsible for the supervision of, okay? You don't let children sit in your lap like you used to. I know when the church had a Christmas party, the kids would all sit in everybody's lap. And you don't hug a child from the front. You don't touch the child. You don't take the child and push them down in the chair if they won't sit down. I mean, there's all kinds of things. Every week on TV, you'll see something about a teacher that gave a homework assignment that got them in trouble, or they said something to the children in the classroom and got them in trouble, or they touched a child, or something even more serious that gets up into more what I consider to be criminal activity of inappropriate touching. You know, you don't help a child zip their pants. If you're out here as a volunteer, you don't help put the shirt tail in, you don't take them to the bathroom. That's the school system's responsibility because they have the job of taking care and doing those things. As my son said, he never opened so many milk cartons until he started teaching kindergarten. So he's become an expert in that. Third thing, and it also applies between adults. Y'all know that too. We got a thing going on now that things aren't tolerated now that were tolerated 20 years ago, and people are rightfully being held accountable for it but that's just how things change. We're much more under a microscope when we're doing things. You're focusing on 4th graders, so it's kind of nice to say your future depends upon the reaction of the 4th grader. So you know you're working through that 4th grader. Because the thing is, you have to focus on customer satisfaction. Okay, if you want to get people to come out here, then there's got to be customer satisfaction. Who is the customer when a child comes out here with the school system? Somebody take a guess. Who's the customer?
Pardon?
Who is the customer? One of these children that come out here from the 4th grade, and they're involved in the, you know, what you're doing. Who's the customer?
The school system itself?
And understand, it wasn't a trick answer, I wouldn't ask you, so don't worry about it.
It's all
All
of them.
of them, the teacher and the students.
So the children,
The children, the school teacher,
who is-
whatever
who is-
volunteers are there.
okay, if you take your car to Wilson County Motor Company to get it worked on or serviced, who's the customer, you or the car?
Well, the car would be.
No, you did.
The car.
You are.
The car is the recipient of service, okay?
Okay.
You are the customer because you're the one that decided your car was gonna go be serviced to Wilson County Motor Company.
Okay.
The customer is the one, it's a trick thing, but the customer is the one who decides whether or not the children come out here. And that are the parents and the school system, neither of which you have any direct contact with. So you're trying to demonstrate that customer satisfaction to a 4th grader, okay? And there again, that 4th grader may have a great time when you thought it was bad. So it's just a complicated process to do that. So what you've got to do is you want the child to go back to school and they'll have a good time and go tell their parents well, they had a good time, because if they have a bad time, I'll tell you, children at that age tend to exaggerate. And they go home and they tell mommy they're upset or daddy they're upset, and all of a sudden they start getting what? Attention. And so they want to keep that attention, so sometimes they'll just kind of get on a roll, and you know how kids will do. That's why they're in the 4th grade and they're not in college, because they're kids. We're going to talk about different age groups either next time or somewhere down the road, because every child in these little things learn and behave differently. If you're going to focus on 4th graders, you need to kind of be pretty well informed on how they learn, how they react to things, how they respond to authority and stuff, okay? So, Brenda told me to stick to my script, okay?
We worked together 27 years, y'all, so.
You know, she said she didn't say she worked for me, but we worked together.
He was my boss.
Talk about change a minute. We could probably go around the room and everybody can talk about their experience with change. You know, it can be the death of a spouse, you know, a friend, a family member, heaven forbid a child, it could be a promotion. Change can be something positive, it can be something negative. Either way, it creates stress, okay? I get a little cartoon that you've got there, and it's a top one, you know, when you talk about that we want to change and be in the forefront, everybody says, oh yeah, man, you're great, we want to do that. And you ask, well, okay, who wants to change? And it all of a sudden gets very quiet in the room. It's kind of like minor surgery and major surgery, you know the difference? Major surgery is what you do on me, minor surgery is what they do on you. That's kind of the way you set it up. But yeah, when you, and then you get down to the points like, who wants to be first? Who wants to be the first person to change? There's nobody around. It's tough, you know, it's tough to change. And we've all had it many times in our life, and we kind of think, gee, I'm glad I've gotten older, I can do what I very well please. Well, congratulations, because it just don't work that way. You know what's so different is when I was a kid,